Welcome to This Week in Indian Hill Braves Athletics here on IndianHillBraves.org and ESPBD, powered by Sidearm Sports. My name is Jason Griefer. Once again, we're joined by Indian Hill Athletic Director Brian Phelps. Brian, good to talk to you again here on this Tuesday. A lot of things going on both in and outside the school. Mother Nature's having its say as far as things may be happening or not happening today. And I do notice as I'm looking at you here as we're video chatting to do this podcast, you've got I voted sticker on there today. What's that about?
Well, today's May 4th, and a bond levy issue for Indian Hill is the talk of the town today. So we are hoping that passes so we can continue to do great things here at Indian Hill. So we'll know, I guess, late tonight or early in the morning if good things are to come.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that. And we'll be looking forward to seeing how those results come in here. Let's start talking about your athletics programs right now here. And let's start with the baseball team. Kind of an interesting spot they're in right now as far as the league goes right now. It's currently sitting 2 games behind Wyoming with 3 league games to play after a 9-7 loss on Monday. So you're going to see Wyoming again, at least as of now, scheduled for Wednesday. Who knows if Mother Nature will allow that. But nevertheless, you got to win it in order to keep your hopes alive as far as at least grabbing a share of the league title. Take me back to the game, though, on Monday. Very tight game back and forth, and Wyoming had to make a really nice defensive play to wind up closing the game out there. What were the coaches' takeaways from this first game against Wyoming, and what are they looking to maybe get shored up as they head into the second one, which, as I said, you've got to win if you want any shot at the league title?
Yeah, it was one of those things. It was our game to win, I think. It was at home. We did some really nice things. Some things didn't go our way. Some calls didn't go our way. The ball didn't bounce our way a couple times. But what I loved about the game was we kept responding. And unfortunately, we didn't respond enough at the end. But down 8-3, Luke Hammond hits a grand slam to put us, right back in the game, 8-7. And, we went into the ninth. They got one, and top of the order coming up. We just didn't finish it, but it was a good game. Like I said, some unfortunate things just kind of went on in the game that didn't go our way. And credit to them, as you mentioned, they made an unbelievable play in center field and, to kind of for the third out, and they got it. So we need to be ready to go Wednesday or whenever we play them next. And we've got to get that one to give ourselves a chance to be CHL champs.
Still, nevertheless, really good positioning you are as far as the league goes, but also the postseason to come here soon enough here. Speaking of the postseason, let's talk about your softball team for a moment, in particular to the postseason, because we now know the draw for your team, and the bracket makers didn't do your team any favors. The way things shook out here is you're going to get top seed Ross in the opener a week from today on May the 11th. If you're able to pull the upset there, you'll get Batavia in the second round of the tournament there. When the draw came out, what was your reaction, and what do the coaches make of the way the bracket's set up?
The bracket came out exactly the way we voted, and there was no surprises. We are exactly where we should be. Ross is a great program. Thankfully, we have a connection with with Ross's head coach, coached here back in the day, and as good of a program as they are, I'm sure it will be a very, very good and a sportsmanship-like type of game.
So we'll see.
You never know. We'll go play the best we can and have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just you gotta go out and actually play the game. So you never know, and all it takes is one chance here, and that could really shake some things up for sure. Let's switch gears. Let's move on to the lacrosse field. Let's talk about your girls first coming up here. Kind of bit of a tough stretch they had within the last few games. The 2-goal loss to Columbus Academy, and then a really tight one with Loveland. I think I'm sure a lot closer than Loveland would have liked in that one. You pushed them all the way to the end. Loveland winds up winning that one 13-10. So we're looking at here coming into this, last stretch here. You've got MND scheduled right now, Kentucky Country Day scheduled right now, heading into this coming weekend here. And off of a couple of close losses like this, I'm wondering if there's been maybe one or two things either the girls or the coaches been able to pinpoint to say, well, if we clean that up, if we get this to go this way, those losses turn into wins.
Yeah, we just had this conversation not only with our coaches but some other, people in the know in the lacrosse world. And although our record is sub 500, we're playing a great schedule. And
Mm-hmm.
we will know if that really tough schedule works out for us once we get to the tournament. If we can make a run of the tournament, regular season schedule doesn't matter at all. And that's kind of what our program's hanging the hat on now, that this will prepare us. These close games with top teams will propel us once the tournament comes to continue to play good lacrosse. We really have played pretty good lacrosse. It's just been the competition. So, as a program, you try to balance that, making sure you can have a decent enough record where people aren't ready to jump off the ship kind of thing, but also be challenged. So yeah, we have M&D, Kentucky Country Day, St. Ursula Academy next week. And we think, even though the record's not great, that we're going to get a high seed because coaches and, around know the types of games we've been in. So we'll see how it all plays out. So our focus is now finishing strong and making a run in the tournament.
Have the girls been able to keep sight of the fact that, yes, the win-loss record isn't what anybody wants it to be, but they also understanding that they've been playing an incredibly high level of competition, and that schedule they've played can and will eventually play off, especially when it comes to tournament time?
I think that's harder for student athletes, especially, youth, to realize. You go out there thinking and wanting to win every game, and when you don't, it's like, what's wrong? And it's, sometimes it's just that reminder that nothing's wrong. You guys are actually playing really well. It's, we're playing bigger schools and we're playing great competition. So I just think in general, that's hard for our student athletes or any student athlete to not be happy when or satisfied when they don't win every game. But again, I hope that it's a look back at the whole season after a great tournament run and feel like it was really a great season all in all.
Over on the boys' side, we talked in depth last week about the rivalry game with Marymount, which came this past Friday. Really big one, could set yourself up for, even more so for postseason seeding as far as that goes. Another game that's really, really tight here in a really good rivalry game, but Marymount winds up getting the better of you 12-10. So now we're looking at the way things are set up. You've got scheduled road trips with CHCA, who's a solid team. You've got Kings coming up on the schedule on Saturday as well. Despite the loss here to Marymount, who is a very, very good team, and you know that as well as anybody, is there still a sense of a good level of confidence knowing that despite this 2-goal loss here to a very good Marymount team, we still have all the pieces we need to make a nice postseason run?
Absolutely. We did get a little, bad news today. Kind of just an email popped up that Kings canceled their game on Saturday. So we will play a really good CHCA team on Friday, but we're looking for a game on Saturday. And yeah, the Marymount game, it was a good game. We knew they were really good. We actually didn't play very well. Now, good teams make you not play very well sometimes, so sure. That's still a credit to them. But I think the confidence that we took out of, a lot like what we were just talking about the girls, we're playing really good teams. The difference has been the boys' side has been winning a lot of those games. So when you drop a tough game like that, it's a little, punch to the gut kind of thing. But I think we walked out of there knowing we didn't play well. Again, Marymount was a big reason, part of that. But there's still this confidence that we can beat them. And, the reality of it is, if both of us have the tournament run that we expect, we're going to meet up again. And, it's easy to say this when you lost the regular season game, but really the only game that matters is the one in the tournament. Everything else is kind of a bragging rights type of thing. So if, we played them in a preview, kind of played a half, and that was at their place, this game was at their place. And, hopefully we see them a third time and we get the better of them the next time.
Do you get the sense that coming out of that game, this team wants to see Marymount in the postseason a third time? I
think absolutely. I think competitors want to play, their rival and other teams that they perceive to be, one of the best teams in the, I would guess that is definitely the case, that they want, especially our seniors, right? They want that one more shot at Marymount. And again, whether it's bragging rights or not, it might be bragging rights, but this time it's even more important because it means you're advancing in the tournament.
Yeah, no doubt there. And speaking of the tournament, another set of young men that are having aspirations of deep tournament runs is your tennis team. And they clinched the CHL title for the 6th straight year after a 5-0 sweep of Wyoming last week. You follow that up on senior day with a 5-0 sweep of Covington Catholic, who came across the river. So really good results there over the last week. They're scheduled to play St. X today, weather permitting. That's going to be an excellent test as far as what you can eventually see in the postseason. And speaking of, we also now know the postseason draws for both the singles and the doubles teams. And looking at the way things set up on both the singles and the doubles side, you have 2 of the top 3 seeds on each side. So it's set up nicely to get some guys, both singles and doubles, deep into this tournament beyond the sectionals. I'm sure. What do the coaches make here of the draws, and also the belief that they can get multiples out of the sectionals?
Yeah, I think that's exactly the plan. We're going to be really strong at doubles, and we're going to be really strong at singles. So, we have the 2nd and 3rd seed on the single side, and those are young guys, and we're pretty loaded on the double side. So I think it's realistic that they all get through sectionals, honestly. And then, once that happens, there's a little bit of luck involved, of course, to continue in the tournament. But we're really excited about our boys team, not only in the OHSA and the individual and doubles or singles and doubles, but also for the team tournament coming up. So we expect a lot of good things left for our boys tennis team. And I'm excited to kind of get the tournament started.
I have to imagine they're excited to get it started as well. I think also to try to see how these 4 freshmen handle that tournament pressure, because it's something they haven't experienced before. But we'll see how that plays out when the time comes. Let's move on here, and we're going to have an extended discussion here about your track and field programs at Indian Hill, not only at the high school levels, and there's a couple different types of programs we're going to talk about here, but also the middle school levels, and we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. But I want to focus on your high school varsity programs right now. Busy week coming up this week as they head to Marymount on Wednesday, and then also take on Summit in a duel on Friday to close out the regular season here with the postseason looming here. Just talk to us about this coming week that they have ahead of them, and also the chance to recognize some of your seniors on Friday against Summit.
Yeah, it'll be great to go to Marymount. A lot of that competition is who we're going to be familiar with, and we're gearing up to get to the CHL championship meet, which is next week. But yeah, the Friday meet was kind of a late addition with Summit, something fun to do as a duel, and a chance to not only recognize our seniors, but acknowledge their seniors as well. And, every sport looks for that opportunity and that venue to be able to celebrate and thank the seniors and their parents. And that's what Friday night gives us.
So we'll be looking forward to see how that turns out there. Let's move on. Let's talk about your middle school program first of all, because they're scheduled to have a meet today. Whether Mother Nature allows that on this Tuesday, that remains to be seen right here. We talked last week in depth with your lacrosse coach and talking about lacrosse program and kind of the relationship between the high school and the middle school levels, and how they really try and make it a 6 or 7 through 12 relationship, if you will, so that when the kids reach the high school level, it's a seamless transition. They can step right in and start contributing right away. Is that the similar type of setup that you have with the track programs as well, to get those kids ready and get those kids practicing and performing the way you want to, so when they hit the 9th grade and reach Indian Hill High School, they can hit the ground running, so to speak?
Yeah, it really is. And one of the things that even helps more so with middle school and high school track is we have a lot of people in the building that are those coaches. So middle school and high school coaches are colleagues. It's easier to be on that kind of same page in one program feel. So they do a really good job. They even overlap kind of practice time. Middle school's finishing while high school is kind of stretching on the side. So there's some time that, the middle schoolers are around the high schoolers, kind of seeing them get started, and vice versa. The high school kids and coaches are kind of seeing the middle schoolers kind of wrap up. So no, it's really good. And you mentioned our invite today, which is the second time that we've done it. We do a very informal invite. We'll have a handful of schools here, and something that we do, I think that is really neat and really special for our community. and we invite other schools to bring their athletes as well, is it gives us a chance for unified athletes to participate and for them to be recognized and to get medals. And, something that we feel is really important for our school and our community to not only involve our student athletes, 7 through 12, but give a special shout out and mention an opportunity to our unified athletes.
Just about to move into that there, the unified track team that you have at Indian Hill High School. Kind of for folks that don't know what this is, kind of take us through it, how it came together, how it operates, and just as you said, the opportunity for these student athletes.
Yeah, so currently it's a middle school program. We hope to expand that into the high school next year. To keep it simple, it's really our special ed kids that have the chance to participate in athletics. And we all, I think, know and agree how important athletics are to our kids, to our student athletes. And there's no reason, obviously, to not provide the same type of experience to our kids that have special needs. So it really is a lot of fun. We have a couple of our teachers that are coaches. The high school kids cheer them on as they're running the 100-yard dash or throwing the shot put. And it really brings a nice crowd. And signs are often kind of in the crowd for those kids. And it's just really a special and fun event.
I was just about to mention that there. You mentioned some of the high school kids. They'll come out and cheer these athletes along right here. How much does that galvanize not only the track programs, but just the community in general when you're able to put on events like this without any kind of issues, out extenuating circumstances, and give these student athletes the spotlight that they have the opportunity to grasp right there? I have to imagine that's a pretty big boost in morale to everybody that, yes, we get this opportunity to do what we do, but these kids also get that opportunity as well as everyone else.
Well, you mentioned community, and that's exactly what it's about. It's about, community and family and supporting each other. And it's easy to kind of talk about, but you have to kind of have some concrete examples of what that means and what that looks like. And I think it's just one of the many examples that we do well at Indian Hill, and supporting each other and it feeling like a true community. And if you haven't been to an event like that, whether it's Special Olympics basketball, which I've hosted a lot in the past, or Special Olympic or wheelchair tennis. I mean, there are so many neat events that happen. And this is just really one of the many events that are out there. And hopefully we can expand on the services that we offer in that way when it comes to athletics and provide more opportunities for our kids.
Oh, it's certainly a great venture for sure. And myself as a parent of a child with special needs, it touches me even more so. So I definitely want to thank you for allowing this opportunity to be given to these student athletes here. It's a great thing. If folks out in the community, get out and support these kids. They're just as good of a student athlete as you'll see on the middle school and high school track programs. Brian, a lot of great stuff here on the show once again. Certainly appreciate your time here once again, and we'll look forward to talking more next week as we get closer and closer to the postseason.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. See you next week.
That is Brian Phelps, Indian Hill High School Athletic Director, joining us for This Week in Indian Hill Braves Athletics here on IndianHillBraves.org and ESP Media, powered by Sidearm Sports.